What's up, Knife Tube? It's Diamond Cut Steel, and you guys are going to learn something today. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. And I hope everybody had a good day. So, what are you going to learn? Well, you're going to learn about these stones right here. Now, I just posted a short. I'm sure you've seen the short that I posted. Basically, what the company told me was that, as you can see, they're split. Well, the 8,000 and the 3,000 kind of warped, and the 8,000 split. Well, they told me there was excess moisture in the mixture of the 8K, and it caused issues. Well, the company was really good about it. They immediately refunded me, give me a few bucks extra for my troubles, and are sending me a new set with the updated mixture. Now, the reason why I'm not just going to immediately slam these stones is because the customer service was excellent, and they seem to really push the fact that the method they're using to make these stones, it's not your typical, centered stone. But these are poured, and they say the grit ratings are incredibly accurate and they're incredibly consistent. So what I did was I took some 50 grit silicone carbide powder, and I went to town, and I give me a flat surface to work with. Now, this stone's still all kind of jacked up, but I at least have a flat surface to work with. Eat up a lot of the stone, so I want to give them a chance. They say that they're very, very accurate. They're extremely consistent. Some of the most consistent grit sizing that you can get. And I want to see. So you guys are going to see with me. So we're going to some old carbon steel. And take the 400. The old 400. So let's see what these things feel like. They do definitely feel different than your typical, centered stone. They have a different feel. So let's see how that translates to actual sharpening. Let's see if it absorbs any water whatsoever. Doesn't look like it does. Alrighty. Now, let's see what these guys do. See how bad they load up. See how they act. They definitely feel different than your typical centered stones, I'll tell you that. They feel different in hand, they definitely feel different during sharpening. There's a lot of feedback, I can already tell you that. These stones feel quite soft. There's a lot of feedback. I can definitely feel the stone cutting. It's definitely removing steel. very, very high feedback on those stones. I intentionally raised the angle a little bit over just in, and yeah, it talks to you. Not quite got a blur yet. This is a 400. Yeah, they have a lot of feel. You will definitely know when you're on and when you're off angle. Stones don't feel bad. Not quite a full blur yet. Remember, this is only a 400. Not going to be the fastest cutting stone in the world, but it is removing material pretty quickly, actually. You guys see? Very, very high feedback. Okay. See the 400 grit scratch pattern. Come on. See if the camera to focus. Okay, there's your 400 grit. Go rinse this stone off real quick, see what it looks like. No load up. No load up at all. That's from that stupid ass rubber thing they had on it. Okay. Let's go to the 1000. Which side roughly? This is the flat side, I believe. Let's just see what they look like. I will say that stone feels pretty good. It is going to be on the soft side. That is a stone that you probably could gouge very easily. It is nice, especially for beginners, to have that very, very high level of feedback. You will, without a shadow of a doubt, know when you're on and when you're off angle. It's very, very, very responsive as far as feedback's concerned. Again, the 400, 1000, don't look like it drinks at all. Okay. The 1K definitely feels harder. Still plenty of feedback. I should have knocked the corners off of these stones. Still plenty of feedback. And removing steel pretty quickly. Birdman flip. These are very tactile stones. They provide a lot of feel. your feedback is excellent so far. I know I've repeated that a bunch, but the feedback is great. They respond even with slight angle changes. You absolutely feel it, which is very nice. They are soft. I can tell you that. That stone feels significantly harder, but don't really load up. Steel comes right out of the stone. That's nice. Okay. Wash this stone off real quick. Just wiping it off with my fingers all over the fingers. That's really rough, but it's just not off the stone. And teeny bit of rough over it. Okay. Mr. 1K. Let's go to the 3K. Hey, you know what? I mean, this could be for 50 bucks, 50, 60 bucks. This could make a good set of stones if they come nice and flat and not messed up. That's why I decided to give them a chance and see, because the company seemed pretty adamant that they're actually good stones. Oh yeah, nice for a scratch pattern. Here's your 1K. Definitely more of a polish. Okay. The 3K looks like it absorbed a little bit of water. Now I'm curious how much different this stone is going to feel than the 1K. Sharp. I just sliced myself. It's already sharp. That got me. Shaved the first layer of my skin off. Okay. That's a very creamy filling stone. A very unique filling. That's a very, very unique filling stone. Extremely creamy filling. I know that sounds funny, but that's the only way I can describe it. Almost like sharpening on a bar of soap is what it feels like. I've never felt another stone feel like this. Like, it's a very, very unique feeling stone. But it feels hard too. Whoops. Come on, watch what you're doing. Pick up wood. Very, 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 very funky feeling stone. Not as much feedback. But definitely still a responsive stone. It's talking to me, that's for sure. It's just not as high feedback as the other stones are. Definitely looks like it's loading up. Maybe not. Huh. Wow, that's a strange feeling stone. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if well, the feel don't matter all that much. It's the performance that matters, but I don't know if I like that feel. Definitely removing material. And definitely polishing. Wow. Definitely polishing. Big time. That is such a strange feeling stone. It's very, very hard feeling stone, but it also feels soft at the same time. That's really odd. If you can think of what like slicing through a bar of soap would feel like, that's what this stone would feel like. I would say this stone right here, it's much less feedback than those other two, but this stone has more feedback than most. I'm bumping the camera, I'm sorry. Ooh, that's a lot of polish. I can tell you this is going to be a bright mirror at 8K if it continues at this progression. I would say that this is actually finer than your typical 3K. Yeah, that's probably more like your typical 5K. Wow. Okay. Let's see if it loaded up. Still things fall off. That's feel like it's not. Well, teeny bit load up. Not much. I'm looking forward to a set of stone that's in good condition. Yeah, there's definitely some load up. No problem. That's almost expected. And here's this wart boy. So I'm gonna have to be real careful to keep consistency in the angle because of stones like a boat. See if it drinks any. Oh yeah, big polish. I think that's pretty much a mirror now. Pretty much a mirror now. Yeah. Now this stone's drinking a little bit. I should have knocked these corners off, but it doesn't really matter because these stones here are garbage. They get, I'm just doing this just to see if they are even decent, or if they're, what we can expect. If the formulation is decent. They said they updated the formulation so that this don't happen anymore. Yeah. So I figured, we'll give them a shot. See how the stone, if they're as consistent as they say they are. I will say these are very, very, very unique filling stones. This stone here has that same very creamy filling, but like slicing through a bar of soap kind of feel. It definitely feels softer than the 3K. Keep in mind these stones are kind of jacked up, so they're not perfectly dead flat, and wow, I've already got burr breaking ones. See that? That is a full mirror. Surprisingly, this stone feels like it has more feedback than the 3K. The stone is definitely talking to me. Wow. Right mirror. definitely going to want a conditioning stone with these stones. Well, if you get good ones, I don't think this will be a bad starter set, to be honest. Having such high feedback is it's very nice for beginners. Like, that feedback definitely will help beginners. Seems to be pretty fast cutting too. I don't really feel the stones glazing over. Ooh, that's a high polish. That is a very, very high polish. Wow. If you're looking to get don't get me wrong, you're going to have to maintain your angle and stuff or it's going to look all kind of jacked up, but these are definitely capable of giving you a bright mirror finish. Super. Piece of burr, get all that off this stone. Nice to load up, just wash it right away. Yeah, these. These are okay. And remember, I'm working with stones that are kind of jacked up. So keep that in mind. These are very unique. But I don't think they'll make people a bad starter set of stones. Especially for your more like simple steel kitchenware, like you know, X50, CR15, VG10, stuff like that.
Love you.
Love you, son.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you, sir. That feedback's nice. Give you that. Super bright mirror. Of course, camera's not going to focus on it. Well, let's see. I ordered up the stone is. Man, I wish these stones would have been okay and not messed up when I got them. These are decent. Very unique. They're not like any typical centered stone I've ever used. There's something definitely different about that pouring technique. Let's see. Let's take it. Go to some 10th micron. Do 5 passes. Nice, perfectly flat V bevel. It's an absolute mirror.